Hello, hello, hello. I'm back with another video with the lovely Caroline. And this video is going to be focused all on arms. I wanted to get some more visual ASMR in because I'm still without my stereo mic. I'm working on getting a new microphone. I think it's under warranty, but the process is just taking a little while. So, in the meantime, my roommate was kind enough to lend me her mic, but it is not stereo. But as I was saying in some of the other videos I filmed on this mic, it kind of harkens back to the old days of ASMR, the early days of ASMR, when nobody had any fancy microphones and no one knew what a 3DO was, it didn't exist yet, all that. I watched ASMR in high school and I still got the tingles. I got triggered from these sorts of videos that were less precise and crisp with the audio, but had those like other ASMR elements, like the visuals, the soft visuals. And in some ways, it feels more real because it's like a home video or something. I know there's, a whole niche of lo-fi ASMR. Lo-fi ASMR. So, I figure I will have an audience. I wanted to do some soft arm touches today, in part because I love visual ASMR, as you know. I love slow, soft hand movements. And I even had a friend in high school and in middle school where, we'd sit around bored in class and, how some people would give each other massages and stuff. She was like, oh, it's really nice. It's kind of like a massage if you just kind of lightly run your fingers up and down someone's arm, like sometimes with a pencil, but also just with your fingers. So we would kind of just sit in class and do that. I don't know if people thought it was weird or something, but it didn't seem weird to us at the time. No one told us not to, so. And to this day, I find it to be just one of the ultimate ASMR triggers. I know there's also a really popular ASMR game, and I remember playing it when I was a kid. It was an early ASMR. I may have talked about it in other videos, but it's where someone closes their eyes and tries to guess when your fingers get to this crease in the arm. And you start down here and you go all the way up and you have to guess. You have to guess when it gets here. And it is shockingly quite difficult. Would you want to play that?
Yeah, I'm confused. How do I play?
Okay, so first, you gotta know.
Should I open my eyes or should I close
No,
my eyes? Okay.
you can keep them closed.
Okay.
But, so, I'm going to start here, and I'm going to work my way up your arm here with just my finger. I might go slow, might go fast, who knows. And then you have to guess when you think my finger has reached this crease in your arm right here. You know, do you know where your elbow is?
Should I keep my eyes closed?
You can give a little peek.
Oh, the line.
Yeah, the line, the crease.
Yes.
So you have to guess when my finger gets up here.
Okay.
And you can just tell me to stop when you're ready. But first I have to make your arm forget where it was. So I have to go like mix it up a little bit. I gotta mix it. These are my mixing sound effects. Where is it? We don't know.
So fun.
I'm desensitizing your arm. It's crazy. Alright. And now I'm gonna start down here at your wrist. Wrist. And the viewers and I will know how close I'm getting, but it will remain a mystery to you. I don't have to be linear. I can go up and I can go back. I can go in little circles. It's just up to you to guess at what point I get to the exact spot that we outlined earlier.
I want it, but not yet. I was gonna say stop there, but not yet.
It's really hard to tell with your eyes closed. Maybe we're there, maybe we're not. Maybe we're really far, maybe we're really close. It's all a mystery.
Stop.
You can look.
Oh, I overshot it.
You overshot it.
When I said to stop before, was I correct the first time? Where were you before?
Over here.
Oh, that's crazy.
Uh-huh.
That's wild. Do it again?
Do you want to do it again? Was that fun?
It was fun. Let's do it again. It makes you really,
Does it trigger any ASMR-esque
yes,
feelings? When I get my other microphone back, Caroline and I are going to do a trigger test so we can dig in a little bit deeper to what Caroline's personal ASMR experiences are like. If she has certain triggers, she has certain anti-triggers. I don't know if there's another word for that, but that's what I call them.
What is the anti-trigger? Is it when you really don't like something?
Yeah, and I mean, there's a thing called misophonia. Something like that.
Yeah,
But I don't know, that seems a little dramatic. Or it's a little wordy to be like, instead of saying anti-trigger is very succinct, rather than, oh, that's a trigger that gives me misophonia, you know?
Gotcha.
Anyways, we are gonna start at the wrist once more. Okay. You gotta tell me when to stop. When you think I've gone to the crease on your arm that we went to before. Sorry, my other fingers touched the top of your arm. I'll do a little erasey.
It's like a magic marker.
I know, isn't it funny? See, you overcompensated because you overshot it last time. Do you want to do one more to see if you can get that perfect medium?
Yes, let's do it.
Alright, so you're shooting for this right here. But we're erasing it. We're forgetting it. We don't know her. Who's the crease? Okay. Starting at the wrist. Once again. Our third and final round of the arm game, the ASMR game, you know. I don't know if there was ever an official name for it. It's just one of those kid things that somehow, like, every kid in every school did the same thing, and you're like, what do you mean? How did you do that? Why are you doing that?
So, darn it. Oh.
That's okay. I need to change the battery pack.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna do some paintbrushes. So I now have some paintbrushes that I keep in this mason jar. But of course, since you can't get that clear sounds on this mic, the star of the show today will be these brushes. So these are the brushes I use to paint. So I'm just going to pretend that I'm painting Caroline's arm. And just run these brushes up and down for your visual ASMR pleasure. I'm going to start with the larger brushes that I have. I'm going to start with this green one here. That's flat. Let's see if you can see it. We'll focus. Maybe. Maybe not. Anyways, it is a flat and thin texture or shape of the bristles. And this is good when I just want to get, you know, a wash of color over a broad space. But I don't need it to be the most pigmented thing in the whole world. Just getting a base layer on. And I think I just have this paintbrush from really on sale brushes from Michaels. Sometimes they have those sets. And there's really not much. They're not very hardy, but they are cheap, and I don't know what happened to the rest of the pack, but this one has continued to serve me well. It has continued to make the cut. I will say, though, I am trying to invest more in quality brushes, a sort of less is more approach. I don't necessarily need 50 million brushes if I have fewer brushes that are durable and effectively disperse color the way I want. Anyways. I'm gonna go on to, I have these two fluffier brushes. And they're similar size, but they are slightly more dense. They are slightly more dense, and because of that, they feel slightly different. And then this one is a little thinner than this one. We have this fluffy one. Maybe I'll try to do patterns at the same time with these two fluffier brushes. I try to make sure my movements have more rounded edges. I try to have fluid movements. I try to follow the natural flow of whatever I'm tracing, the natural contours of the skin, the lines, the shapes. And follow kind of the veins in Caroline's hand here, and even trace up along the fingers, up to the fingertips, the fingertips, the fingertips, the fingertips. And of course the wrist, where we started our game. So all of these brushes are pretty similar. So they're just varying levels of precision on these brushes. These three are a little bit nicer. I got them from Blick, which for most of my post-grad life, I've been getting my art supplies from Blick. Blick, that's a nice ASMR word. Blick, 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 Blick. Anyways, these were a little more high quality, slightly more expensive brushes, but again, I'm trying to invest more. Now this is my smallest little precision brush that I have here. And I'm beginning to just trace the elbow crease that we all love so much. Or maybe that's just me. But you tell me. Then I'm also just going to do little dots, just little freckles that Caroline has. Pew, pew, pew. Dot, 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 dot. Poke, poke. Chuk, chuk, chuk. Tell me what sound effects you like, or if you hate them. Part of what I want to do with this precision brush as well is trace some of the lines of the palm. I really wish there were more palm videos that were sort of like palm reading themed, but are not role plays of getting your palm read. I myself am not a huge fan of roleplay ASMR. For the most part, I'm not gonna say, every video. And I also know that there's like so much creativity there, and people have done like really cool ones like space travel and series that have narratives and all sort of innovative things. But as far as what gives me the tingles and actual ASMR, role plays are not typically ideal, I'll say that. But it's hard to find any palm reading type ASMR videos that aren't role plays. Maybe, just like an instructional one where someone shows it, or an ASMR video of someone actually reading somebody else's palm. I actually do know some like that. Brittany ASMR. I don't know if she still posts videos, but I followed her when I was really young. And she has a palm reading video with one of her friends that's quite nice. Hey, if you like palm videos, I could always try to learn some palm reading skills and fill that niche myself. Just let me know. Caroline has very defined lines of her palm. I hope the light doesn't wash it out. But that is... Now I'm going to just go back to my fingers for a little bit as we finish up the video. I hope that you like these kind of videos. I am happy to do more. I myself love videos of just like this, with just the fingertips lightly touching the inner part of the arm. And I think it's one of those things where it's hypersensitive because it just doesn't get touched that often. The way, most bodies are. They hang at your sides and face inwards, buffered from the outside world by your torso and your outer arm. You can tell by the outer arm tends to be more tan and the inner arm tends to be paler. So you can tell that it's less exposed to the elements. So when it is just very softly touched, you don't need much. You don't need a full massage. That can be nice, but sometimes it's even nicer to savor the smaller touches, especially in areas that are hyper sensitive to touch, like the inner arm and particularly the elbow grease. I think it's a thing that other people have talked about in ASMR videos, that the elbow crease is a particularly ASMR inducing location. But if that is not relatable, I might just be out here acting like everyone knows what I'm talking about when no one else knows what I'm talking about. So let me know. Let me know if you like these kind of videos. I assume that based on my other content, that if you're subscribed, you enjoy visual ASMR, but I have some other videos in the pipeline, especially once my microphone is fixed. So thank you to everyone new who subscribed. I've really been appreciating that. And please stay tuned for more content.